Okay, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. If you are new here, my name is James, and I like to talk about web development. Today's episode is part 2 in a series, possibly a new ongoing series. I am rebuilding a website, not because anybody asked me to, but because it just needs to be done. And I'm going to offer them the website when I'm done. We'll see what happens. But regardless, even if they don't want it, that's fine. We're just here to, I'm just a content machine, right? That's why I exist. I'm just here to make stuff. So if you watched the first episode, we got a decent amount of work done. I was using WordPress Studio. It was slow and I was just tired of it. So off camera, I ported over to Lando. It was a process for some reason. I don't really want to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. I thought it's a simple website. I'm just going to spin up a new blank website in Lando. I'm going to install Etch, automatic CSS. Then I'm just going to export the pages from the old site, just using the default WordPress export tool. First of all, that was a huge pain in the ass because WordPress Studio and Lando can't apparently operate at the same time. I'm sure there's a way to make it happen, but there's some kind of port conflict because when I would spin up the Lando site, the WordPress Studio site would stop working. So I had to restart my computer, fire up the WordPress Studio version of the site, exported the pages, and I fired up the Lando site, imported the pages. It almost worked. All the HTML, all the elements were there, but there were no classes. None of the HTML elements had any classes on them. So I said, fine. So I went back, restarted my computer so I could open up WordPress Studio, used it all-in-one WP migration, created a backup, did all that. And then I was experiencing just the weirdest bugs on the new site. And I never really resolved it. Don't know what was going on. I'm assuming it had to do with just the whole mess of, at one point I actually even had exported the SQL file from WordPress Studio, tried to import that in the new site. There were issues, had AI help me modify the SQL file so that it would successfully import. Finally, it successfully imported and everything looked fine. It looked like it all worked. And then, I don't know, like I said, I had some weird bugs. So I think I've resolved the issue. I think one of my elements somehow in Etch got corrupted. It was just doing weird, like none of the styles I was adding to the class on that element were actually being applied. When I looked at the front end and I used the inspect tool, they just weren't there. It's just weird stuff like that. So I deleted that whole section, rebuilt that section from scratch. Took me like a minute. It was the simplest section. Made sure to use all new classes, and it's working. So that's where we're at. Where we're at is basically, from your perspective, exactly where we were when we left off. But from my perspective, I was on an entire journey to get to where, to get back to where I started. So if you're new here, you're like, what are you even talking about? Well, this is what I'm talking about. Here's a website. Watch the first video if you want to watch me kind of go through this website and talk about the things about it that I don't like. I am, for the most part, not redesigning this website. I'm just rebuilding it, but I'm fixing little things here and there that I don't like about it. I'm hoping today we can get to this monstrosity. Like, I still just can't even... The fact that this is live on a website is like bonkers to me. This looks like the original image is 200 by 200 pixels and they blew it up to whatever size this. I mean, if the video is not doing it justice, go to the website, cyberinnovation.com, and look at this image. Look at how crazy pixelated it is. Blows my mind. Blows my mind that this is on a website. But we fixed it also. Again, go back and watch the first video because I used AI to fix that. The short version is I just uploaded it to AI and said, hey, this picture's blurry. Can you fix it? And it did. It looks like it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So I'm hoping that we'll get to that section today because I'd like to build that. But as you can see, we have built the hero section. We built this section. This is blank because it's a form. So if I was to show this to them and they actually said, yes, I'll take that website, then I would embed whatever form they're using. So I didn't bother like installing a form plugin so I could put a form in there. This is what their form looks like. I don't know why the text is purple. Nothing else on this website is purple. I don't know why the button is black. All their other buttons are green, possibly blue. Whatever. But that's what it would look like with a form there. And then we built this section. This is a section that was having some issues. I'm going to shrink this image down a little bit, I think. And then we built this section, and that's where we left off. We also used AI to kind of fix this picture a little bit. If you look at their version, the shadow was very aggressive, and it was also causing this line over here because the shadow is spilling over into the edge of the actual image. So that looks really bad. And so I just had AI, again, I just uploaded this picture to AI. I used Gemini, and I said, hey, can you reduce that shadow on these cards by quite a bit? And it did it. And I just think this looks a lot better. It's still there. There's still a shadow back there. So it still gives it, that dynamic sort of 3D feel, but it's just not as aggressive as what they had going on here. So I like this better. I also like the buttons with white text on them as opposed to the blue text. And instead of changing to blue, we just kind of have a more of a subtle animation. So that's where we're at. So we're going to go ahead and just jump in and kind of continue what we were doing. Hopefully I don't run into any more bugs. I think we're going to be okay. Because this Lando site is another fresh Lando site. After I was experiencing all the bugs with the first Lando site, I spun up another Lando site and basically rebuilt it from scratch. And so I think whatever corruption happened before, I think is gone. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that. Because it went smooth. If you watch the last video, I feel like everything was going pretty smooth. There was a little bit of a hiccup at one point, but it was a pretty smooth sailing build, I think. Let's get at it. We need another section. We're going to call this section, it's this thing. So this is like some weird tool. If you look at it, it sends whatever URL you put in there. It sends it to data.searchenginelabs.com. Searchenginelabs.com doesn't resolve to anything, so I don't know what this is. I've never heard of it. Clearly it's some tool that you can use to generate an SEO performance report. So that's neat, I guess. I don't know why this text seems to be left aligned while this text is center aligned. If you saw the first episode, there's a lot of that going on in this website, just weirdness. So I need to download this image. Let's do that. And let's get going. So we'll call it, I'm just going to call it SEO report. Of course, there's a little, now, this website bothers me. Do I want to just make it the same width as my content width? You can see they don't seem to have a content width on this website. Every section is a different width, and it's driving me nuts. Look at this. These don't line up. These don't line up. And they don't line up like this whole section is shifted over to the left for some reason. I don't know. This section is large. I guess it lines up with that maybe. Okay. Doesn't line up with this or that. Yeah. So it's a pretty narrow container on their website. But I think on mine, I'm just going to keep it in my same content width as everything else. So let's do a div, call it figure Let's throw an image in there, and then let's throw a flex div, and the flex div has heading text. And then I'm just going to drop a text in there, but what I'm going to do, I think I'm actually just going to copy this HTML. Just plop that in there. See what happens. What could go wrong? Did that come with any classes? It came with some inline styles because of course it did. This is a WordPress website too, by the way. What did they build it with? Can I don't think I can tell. Yeah, the themes folder is hidden. Oxygen plugin. That's a builder, right? Does that come with a theme? Component framework. Oxygen's a page builder, right? I thought Oxygen was kind of a good builder. Am I wrong? Any more inline styles? Yeah, let's get these inline styles out of here. I'm going to keep this on click because I kind of want to see if it actually works. If it's just as simple as, because it's grabbing whatever you put in the input field, it's concatenating it onto the end of this on click window open. So, I mean, it might work. We'll see. Okay, we got the styles off of there. Let's copy and paste. Well, no, let's organize our panels. So we got SEO report, figure, image, and then we got content, heading text, and all this. No, it's a div. I'm going to call it form. Does it even have, I mean, I know you technically don't need a form tag. Yeah, because it's not like submitting. It's just using JavaScript to open a URL. So it's not like an actual form, just an input field that we can use to plug in there. So I think we're good there. Let's BEM it. I guess I could say SEO form, just be a little more specific, but that's probably going to feel redundant here in a second. AutoBEM. AutoBEM. Analyze my site. That's already in there. We're going to make this VTN. I don't know. Should we do different? Every other button we've done, we've made secondary. Why is the font like that? Is that a... Huh. Interesting. Let's see. Let's do our auto grid real quick. Change that to 2 columns. Dun, dun, dun. Let's upload our image, which I don't think I'm going to bother squishing it because it's pretty small. Yes, 11 kilobytes. That's good enough. It's very tiny. Very tiny. Oh, what's that? Is it width content bit, or is it width bit content? Yeah. I wonder what that does. Combine that with my normal image stuff. Kind of made it bigger. I'm wondering, like, what, basically we're saying, hey, just be as big as you need to be to fit the content you're in. And then here we're saying, hey, go ahead and fill up whatever space you have. So I was wondering, like, what's going to happen? I think what's happening is it's going to be however big it has to be the same size as this content. Let's test that theory. Yeah, look at that. It's growing. It's growing with this. So I might be okay with that. As long as it doesn't get too big, right? Let's see, what does this do? Yeah, I think that's fine, honestly. What if we get crazy? Well, it'll never get any bigger because of content width, so. All right. We'll keep it. I was just wondering what that was going to do. This little experiment. I think I'm going to leave all this stuff left aligned, and I think I'm going to leave it. I don't like all this space. Could use content grid. Let's see if I do content grid. I would add it to the section. Is that still a utility class? Looks like it. I'm seeing the content grid lines. I might be overthinking this actually, because I think, you know what? Let's check the docs, because I'm just going to Google it. Automatic CSS content grid. They have a nice graphic in their docs. Yeah, this. Okay, so they do not. I thought maybe they had a smaller zone that was smaller than content width, but you just have to customize it. You just have to add your own, which I don't think you need content grid to do that, right? Because you're already rocking a content width. So I think I can just overwrite that variable. Let's find the width. Inline size, that's not what I want. Maybe I do want to use content grid. Container gap. So it's using gutter for padding, but I'm not seeing where oh, here we go. It's the container that chooses the width. Duh. Yeah, so there's content width. So I think I can just override this variable. I don't need to use content grid. So let's go to the container and say content width. And then I don't even know what my default is. So I just want to make sure it's working. Yeah, it's working. It shrunk it down. 900. What if I shrink it down too small? Yeah, it still maintains my gap in there and just starts scrunching things. I think content width I can find pretty easily. It's in layout, website dimensions. Okay, so my default's 1300. So if we want to go just a little bit smaller than that, that's still too much, I think. Yeah, I think that looks better. Let's go look at that. And then make sure, yeah, nothing's broken. I think on mobile, we're going to stretch this image to 100%. In fact, I might stop with that fit content stuff. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say inline size 100%, max width. Inline size. Do I have to say max inline size? Okay. It's working. Just for some reason, the builder preview's not having it. There it is. Just had to refresh. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do max of like, I don't know, 500? Yeah. Then it should be nice and full width on mobile. Perfect. Perfect. And that text scales down quite nicely, in my opinion. I do need to add a little gap to my... I copied that HTML from their website. Is that even like flex or anything? No, because I haven't added any styles to it. It just has, oh, I missed an inline style. Tisk tisk. All right, so we want to make this div let's actually create a new div. Make it a flex div. And grab the same class here. Put that on this. And we'll drag this stuff up in there. So this is a flex div already. And then I can say flex direction row gap. Looks like there's already a default gap. Ooh. Okay, it's like that because it's flex, and so it's taking up the actually not 100% sure why it's doing that. Okay. Good times. Flex is always fun to deal with. Let's see. That doesn't help. What is the... You know what? I think it was fine before. I feel like I don't want to mess with this. How did they do it then? They just... Where's that gap coming from? Because it's not display flex. There's no margin. There's just a nice little gap in there for some reason. Huh. Okay. That's weird. That's wild. All right, whatever. Let's go back to it the way we had it before I broke it. Of course, I don't get that magic gap. They get the magic gap, but I don't. Oh well. That's life. You know what I'm saying? We'll let automatic CSS handle some of this stuff. I think there's some default styling for forms and whatnot. We'll put this back to button primary. Of course, now it's not. Is this because we shrunk the content width? I'll bet it is. I'll bet it is. Yep. Okay. So can't wait till we have AI inside Edge, man. Even just doesn't have to be fancy, guys. I just want to ask it stupid questions like, how do you prevent button text from wrapping CSS? Yeah, because I can never remember this because white space, that like, am I the only one that just doesn't think that makes sense? White space. I can never, ever, ever, ever remember that. Analyzer button. Let's also give it a class. I had given this a class already. Let's go look at our style manager. I don't do this a lot. Selectors, scroll down here. What did we call it? SEO report, SEO form. Right. So what do you got? Flex direction row, which I'm going to delete. Okay. And why was I doing that? Because I wanted to say, what did I want to say on here? Ah, yes. On the button, I wanted to give the button a class, or I might just nest because I'm lazy. Button. Look at that. White space, no wrap. See if that actually does anything. And then we want to what do we want to do is the question. How do we, because when I give it display flex, it breaks things. Oh, it's not breaking things. Is that just because we put the no wrap? All right, I'll take it. Let's do a container query, eh? First of all, let's do, yeah, I just want to make sure, is this why it was breaking before? Because I tried flex and it looked, yeah, it was doing that. Okay. So cool. So the flex works, which is good because then I can just say gap, like one rem. It's probably enough. And then this is the other weird bug that I cannot for the life of me figure out what the problem is. This container is set to grid, auto grid. And for some reason it's stacking in the builder. I'm going to give it a refresh. I don't think it's going to fix anything. Yeah, it doesn't fix it. But on the front end, it's fine. It's backwards for some reason, all of a sudden. Why? What did I do to deserve this? Oh, it looks like no, where's the form? The form is in the content. Okay. Yeah, did I just accidentally drag it? I think I must have accidentally repositioned it. That was weird. But yeah, it's just a weird bug. It's stacking a single column in the builder, and I can't figure out why. It doesn't make any sense. These aren't. These are stacking just fine. This was happening to me before. And if I remember correctly, what I did to fix it was I just added a new class, and for some reason that worked. Yeah, look at that. Same exact code. I literally just copy and pasted the code to a new class, and my weird issue went away. Like, whatever. That's what happens when you play with things that are technically in beta. I mean, let's be fair. Etch and this version of ACSS are both in beta. So, you know, this is the worst. This is the worst that you have to deal with, and I think we'll be okay. Is there a background? Yeah, there's this background, which I don't know if I like, but I'm going to probably use it because that's what they're doing. Is it the same color? What do we got? EFF4FB, EFF4F7. It would be. I'm going to see what the actual spec tool tells us. Yep, EFF4F7. EFF4FB. Why, man? Why? Are these really so different? I can tell this one's a little more bluish. But like, why? Just use the same color, man. They're so close. Why do we need so many different colors? What did I use up here? Neutral? Guess what? Oh yeah. So weird. And these people, I said I wasn't, the point of this was not to be mean, but bruh, y'all do websites for other people. I know my website's not perfect, but come on. All right. Next section. Actually, let's test this form. See if it actually works. Let's do their site. Hey, it works. Cool. I did this before, and you have to give them your email address to actually view the report, which I didn't do, but that's neat. So you too could offer this to your clients on your website. All you have to do is copy the HTML, plunk it in your website. There you go. Next section. We talked about this in the first video. I don't like the way these icons are just peeking out. I feel like they either need to be just fully inside the card or they should be like halfway out, not just barely peeking their heads out, because this looks like a mistake. They did it somewhere else too. It didn't actually look as bad. Yeah, it does look bad. I don't like it. Whoa, where'd I go? Oops. Here we are. Yeah, I don't like this at all. But this should be fairly simple. Are these SVGs? They are. So we can copy. All right. And what's this section going to be called? 3 ways that can help you grow. Help you grow. Bum, bum, bum. I think there's a heading and text. I feel like I can't even like make components on this website because there's like no two things on this website that look the same. Can maybe create a heading component. I could have used that here. Okay, maybe I could have. I might do that. I would have to have a prop for color, black or white, and I would have to have a prop for alignment left or alignment center. But I've done all of that before. And I could even add a call to action button and turn it on or off if I don't need it. Yeah, you guys want to see me do that? Of course you do. Let's do it. Let's frickin' do it. Okay. I'm going to Which one is most common? That's different. So we got white text center aligned, black text left aligned, black text left aligned, black text centered, white text centered. Dude, this is what I'm talking about. Nothing. There's no consistency on this website at all. Okay, so whatever. Let's turn this one. Okay. I think it's annoying. I think what I have to do is create a component out of this heading, save it. I'm going to copy this. Can I not paste it in? No. All right. Okay. Copy this text and automate underscore text. Did it not save that? Save? No, that is not at all. Bruh. Bruh. Which one am I doing? Automate your business. Like, bro. Come on. Save. Exit. CTA. Automate CTA, and it just says learn more. It's also .btn secondary. Save. Exit. Let's delete this and delete that. Okay, so we have a component. Now we have to dynamicify it. Easy peasy. Edit component. We're going to click, what do we need? Just technically 4 text props. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heading text, lead text, button text, and button URL. I don't even know what the URL is yet. Who cares? So the text, we can click this and we can click that. Magic. Lead text, click this, click that. Button text, I'm not brave enough to do that because I don't know what it's going to do. I'll just come in here and say props dot text. And for the URL, same thing, but right? Right. And we can add some defaults. They should already have defaults. Button text, for some reason, didn't have a default, but these other ones do. So let's save and exit. We have a default, but we can type whatever we want. Pretty fancy schmancy. Let's make it even fancier schmancier. How do we do that? Well, we're going to need a Boolean, and we'll call this as CTA. And then we're going to wrap this in a conditional. The condition is if props.has CTA. So boom, boom. Look at that. Save. This next one's a little bit trickier. Heading, we're going to give it a data attribute, data text align. Data heading text align equals props dot heading text align. I think that's what I want to do. What? Why is my style panel open? Get out of here, bro. Killing me. Let's add we'll make it a select. What did we call it? Text align. And the options, one per line, are left, center, or right. And then I think what we can do here is say, how do we do this, man? Data heading text align equals left text align. It's got to be, probably is a better way to do this. Let's test it. Center, right. Yeah, boy. Probably could have combined this into one, since I don't know if we're ever going to have a heading that's one alignment and then the lead text that's another alignment. Whatever. Edit component. Let's create another select. This one is called lead text align. Left, center, right. We're going to grab these and copy. That's good. Exit. Lead text. Nope. What did I do wrong? Lead text align, center. Oh, I forgot to add the data attribute to the text. Derp. Derpy derp. Okay. Now let's try this. Yep. Center, left, right. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So now we come down here and we get rid of this heading. We get rid of this text and we just drop in this component called heading. Boom. What's our actual heading text? Where's our section? This guy. So we click on this heading and we'd come over here and we'd start pasting stuff in. Look at this. Look how simple this is now. Whenever I need to do this, oh, there's no CTA button. Cool. We'll just go like this. Boom. This needs to be centered. So we'll go center and center. Done. Oh, we need to do font color as well. So guess what? Ooh, which heading should I edit? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's a component. I'll edit either one and it'll apply to all of them. So let's see. Color. I'm going to just want to be able to type, I think. I could do a select, since as far as I know, it's only ever going to be either white or black or whatever color this is. I think we went with base. So I could probably do a select, but I'm not. I'm just going to do simple text. Let's do 2. And we'll say heading color and lead color. Let's make the default. I think that's what I'm using. And then what we need to do is another data attribute. So for heading, data, heading color, props dot heading color. Data lead color, props dot lead color. Oh no, I can't do it that way. I do have to specify. Oh, or I have to do, let's just do an inline style. Style equals color props dot lead color. No, there we go. And then same thing for this heading. We'll get this out of here and say style equals color props dot heading color. All right. I think that should work. Let's exit and test one. We'll test this last one. Color red. Ooh. Blue. Ooh. All right. And also, is that base color, is that even correct? See what color I'm using here. Is it going to tell me? Font size, It's in here somewhere. Color var text color, which is okay. Color var text color. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same color. Which is being determined here, I believe. Text color is base. Is that actually doing anything in there? That's using it. That's using it. That's not. That's not. That is. That's not. Did I specify colors on these? Text color red. Okay. Look at that. That's more weird. Let's refresh. Okay. Oh no, this broke again. This broke again. After I added a new class and it fixed it, then I refreshed the builder and it's broke again. But anyways, so some of this text, did I specify a color? So this is red because it's using bar text color, which we set to red in ACSS. What is determining the color of this? It wants to be red, but it's being overridden by base because I put that in here. But also, why is this overriding, but this one's not? Green. I think I should make the defaults on this instead of base. I think it should be text color, actually. And then if I go back to ACSS, typography, text, put this back to base, save, refresh. My poor broken builder, it was all fixed. That's still green because I put green in here, but let's get rid of that. So it goes back to the default. Okay. That was a lot of work just to test that my variables are actually working. But it was good because I think I determined the better way is to use text color here, because now whatever I think whatever I put in here should again, let's test my theory. Yep, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Next section, I think, right? Or no, this is a section with those cards. We got to put these cards in here. SVG heading text, easy peasy. I'm not going to loop this. I don't see the advantage to looping it since it's not a post type. I would have to loop through a JSON object, and I don't feel like updating this with a JSON object is going to be any more enjoyable or fast or easy or scalable than just updating it in the builder if I need to. So yeah, I'm not going to loop it. The one benefit to looping is when you're building it, and you can just like duplicate a card in it. But I mean, it should still, yeah, I'm not looping it. What do we got? Since I got the heading inside this container, I have to add a div, and the div is going to be a grid 3. I don't think I'm going to do auto grid, because if I do auto grid, I think it's going to shrink down to 2 columns at one point. And so then you're going to have 2 cards in one column and 1 in another, and then it'll go to 1 column. And I think what I want to do is go straight from 3 columns down to 1 column at some point. So I'm not going to use auto grid. I'm just going to use regular grid. So we'll just do a plain div. We'll call this grid. Inside there, we want Lex div. Now, I still have not figured out this SVG element, to be honest, because this seems to be what you do when you have an SVG file you want to use. But if you just want to use SVG code, I don't get the, I wonder if this works similar to the HTML one where you say content equals. Let's try it. Content equals this SVG code. Nope. What if I make it an HTML element instead of SVG? Content equals. Nope. So what we'll do is we're just going to go like this. That doesn't seem right. Let's go back to here. Grab our SVG again. Copy element. Go back here. Control A, bro. That's really... So what are they doing here? Oh. Okay, they're doing something weird. Linear icons, smile. Of course they would do something weird. Of course they would. Is this some kind of plugin or icon library? Xlink, href, linear icons. Hmm. What do I want to do? I feel like I just had a page with a bunch of like free icons on it open and I closed it. Is that in my history somewhere? Search history icons. Download free to. Ooh, I think I found it. Smile. Please tell me they have a smiley face. All right, we got a smiley face. What are we looking for exactly? Just a goofy looking smiley face. It's obviously not going to be the same, but oh, that one looks fairly close. Not quite as big and goofy of a smile. What else we got? Okay, yeah, this is not the thing that I'm gonna spend my time on. But now maybe I can use this SVG. Maybe I can figure out this SVG element finally. All right, get that out of here. Drop an SVG element. Icon, click to select an image. Okay. Use this media. Strip color attributes. Okay. And then heading and text. This needs to be in a div, which I think I can get a figure. Call that icon. That's it. Icon, heading, text. We got a grid. We got icon, heading, text. What's this? This is my card. Card. Clever. Okay. Okay. So first things first, we're going to grab this card class. We're going to open up a CSS and go to our card framework and drop it in here. And save. Look at that, it's card. Our figure here needs to have a background of primary. And probably padding, background color bar. Oh, wondered why it wasn't working. There it is. Is this a good time to use fit content? Adding 10 pixels? I don't know. Order radius. Is there a variable for a circle? I think there might actually be. SVG. Can I do that? Yes. See, okay, I learned something today. I never understood, like, so you can use a file, an SVG file, but you can still modify it with CSS, which kind of blows my mind. But I understood before when you're using SVG code that you could do that. But the fact that you can do that, even though it's a file, that kind of blows my mind a little bit, if I'm being honest here. All right, but it's too big. I want so badly to use fit content on something, but it just never is actually what I want, I think. Let's do 50 pixels. Oh, that's close. No, it needs to be bigger. Let's do 75 pixels. Too big? Oh, yeah. and more, well, I don't have to do it exactly like them, do I? Their smiley face doesn't seem centered. Maybe that's just my brain. We're going to go with this. We're going to go with this. And this is going to be an H3, I think, right? Yeah, this would be an H2. These are H3. Looks like they're using primary dark. Done for you. Why is that so tiny? Because it's the card. They decided that that's how big card text should be. All right, let's duplicate. Let's make our grid actually a grid. Grid 3. Yeah. Yeah. Everything, well, okay, yeah, everything in the card should be centered, so that would be align items center. We'll keep the text left aligned. We are looking good, yo. I'm not going to break these icons out. I think that looks bad. I think this looks much better. We need let's see here. See if we can find an icon that looks like that. Ooh, that's not what I'm looking for at all. Ugh. Okay, maybe. Yeah. Okay, there's that one, but it's too thick. People outline. I'm a font awesome guy, so that's probably what I would use normally. All right, let's use this one. Download. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, so I'm not stupid. I'm just too lazy to move my screen over. And then, ooh, what is that? A magic wand? I will show you. In case you're curious, this is what I'm using. imvector.com. Oh, look at that. Magic wands. Perfect. So which one kind of looks like theirs? This one does. Could be a little bit of a thinner outline to match the rest. That one does, but it's facing the wrong way. Could rotate it. I could just flip it with the old CSS, right? Or I could also just not worry about it. Download. Bond. Boom, look at that. Easy peasy. Yeah. I like it, man. Done with you. And just like that, we're done. Well, no, we need to determine at what at what point. This is why left aligned text helps too, because left aligned text, I mean, you can kind of scrunch it a little bit before it's really hard to read. I think I want to make sure this doesn't do that, so I think right about here we'll go on the grid template columns, repeat. We're going to grab that. I don't even know if there's a point in having grid template rows on there, but Yeah, look at that. Look at that, y'all. Little container query action for you. And bam. Nope. Bam. Yeah. Could maybe put a max width on these, on this paragraph too. I kind of like that. I think I might make that text bigger. Just got to figure out the best way to do that. Let's do the max width first. I think I said 50 characters. Yeah. And one thing I've been doing, if you're ever like not sure what like the utility class or the not the utility class, the variable is that you want to try to mess with, just go look at it in the spec tool. It's usually pretty easy to find. So we're on the paragraph. Somewhere in here is going to be like a font size. And it's going to be something card dash. And probably in here somewhere. Well, it's just doing font size is card text size. Is it, and it's not defaulting to the default, I don't think, because, yeah. So card text size. So we could either update the card text size, which are these cards? I think they're cards, right? Yeah. And they're using card text size in there. So if we don't want to screw up the text size of every card, we could just mess with it here, which I already forgot. What was it? Card text size? Yeah, card text size. So we can go like this. Card text size is actually we can get stupid fancy with it. Let's see here. Refresh because I want to get that default back. Font size. Yeah, so the fallback, we have text dash sizes. So we'll do text medium. That did not seem to. I think this is how you would do it. See if it changes. No. Card text size. Am I even doing this right? Let's see if we can actually just. Yeah, that's not working at all. Card text size. Why am I not able to override that? Card. Oh, wait. I don't need this. Do I need to put it on the card class? Ah, okay. Is text medium the default? Nope. Let's try text medium. I almost feel like that's too big. But text small is what it is right now. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that too big? It's the same size as this, looks like, because it's just medium's probably the default text size. Yeah, it's exactly the same. I'm going to get stupid. How's that? How is that, y'all? It's just text medium times 0.8. And that's only going to apply on these cards. So it'll still use the same default card text size on all my other cards in the future. But on these specific cards, we're going to use that. And what's cool about that is this will, if I ever change the size of my medium text, which would affect this will also grow with it. So no matter what, this text is always going to be 80% the same size as this text. So that's what we mean when we talk about making sites scalable and maintainable. I think that's it for this section, huh? Yeah. Look how everything is just mobile responsive already. Like just having automatic CSS, really just having Etch. Etch pretty much keeps everything really nice with the uniform gutter and everything. And then ACSS just takes it to a whole nother level. If you've watched the first episode and this one, you see that I'm not doing a ton. I've done a couple. I did one container query and I've done one or two media queries, but not a ton. I mean, I've built websites where it was just, every section pretty much would have a media query, or you'd have one giant media query at the end with all sorts of classes in there, and you'd have your breakpoints. You guys know it. You've done it. You have a media query for tablets, and you have a media query for tablets portrait, and you have a media query for phones, and then you're just dumping classes and selectors and whatnot, and it's just a pain in the butt. So this is just much better. What's our next section look like? Oh, we need to throw a button in here. There's a button. Somebody told these guys, make sure you don't have too few call to actions. And they were like, bro, don't even worry. You like call to actions. We got call to actions, bro. All right, let's add one. What does it say? Start a conversation. I almost should create a component for that, but that'd be silly. Especially since we have ACSS. So all I really have to do is, let's see, I want it outside the grid. So we'll hold control to make it a sibling, hit that, control enter, CTA, secondary. Look at that. We have a button. Start a conversation. What did I do wrong? Oh, CTA? BTN, bruh. BTN. Enter. No, I thought you could. Whatever. BTN secondary. Hey. Now, I think what we do is we just go like this. Align items center. Hey. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. What's next? This weird section. This section is so weird. Look at this. Look at how small this text is. Look how big that text is. Look how big that text. Come on, guys. Consistency. Have a little consistency. So what am I supposed to do with all this? So is the main point of this section WordPress versus Wix versus others? I guess so, because it's talking about Wix and whatever high level is. So then what is up with this text alignment over here? What is happening? Also, what is this background? I don't have that downloaded yet, I don't think. Is it this one? Yeah. Holy. How big is that bad boy? 369 kibbles. That is squoosh worthy. Hello? That is squoosh worthy. Let's keep it as a WebP. It's already a WebP. How big is it? It's actually not that big. That doesn't seem to have hardly affected the quality at all. How far can we go, man? Wow. How far can I go? 5% quality. No way. Considering this is about to have an overlay on it, I think I'm going to go with this, man. It's only 53 kibbles now. That file name is oh, so good. So good. What's this section called? Oh yeah, WordPress. Ugh. Web builders. That's what I'm going to call it. And all right, first thing it has is a heading and then some text, which means what am I doing? Boom, component. And then weirdness. Do a div. Just do a flex div. And then inside that, 2 flex divs. We'll do image, text, call to action. Should I make these cards even though they're not cards? I feel like it would maybe look a little better. I want to call this grid even though I'm using flex. Whatever. Did I get the image in there? I did. Yeah. Bam. All right, this heading. We have no CTA. Get that out of here. And we want to center both of these. And the text color is white. think I can do the fancy auto. And that's not going to work, right? It shouldn't work. I gotta actually type it out. That should work. Yeah. What's our background? It's the same thing going on as our hero section, just with a different image. So let's background. Yeah, we'll copy that. First of all, why not? We'll update the image, but I want this after because that's giving me the overlay. Look at that. Save. Upload our new thing. Grab this gigantic URL. Look at that. Okay, what is the problem? It's the index. Oh, I need to give this the index of 2. All right, now we got this card, which I need to duplicate. And then we need to make this flex row. Yeah. And then these are both already flex, so we'll say, what am I doing? Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I'm going to just drop a color of white. Come on. I'm going to add the class of H4. Nope. We're going to try H3. Yeah. Wix has come a long way since 2006. You don't say. Huh. What do we got so far? What do we got so far? Not bad. Don't know where that's... Why is that changing? Style's not... Style color var white. It's working on this, but it's not working on that. Did I do something? Var white. Guys, what am I witnessing here? What? What? It's changing too fast. Bro, come on. Okay. Look at this. I stopped it just in time. the style is there, but if we let it finish loading, the style goes away for some reason. Wild, man. Is that happening on any of my other? Where else did I use this? Is this the component? Where did I use the component? To help you grow. Yeah. It's like the component's broken somehow. The style loads and then it disappears. See, sometimes stupid things matter, like the order in which you do things. So on this one, we have the style, then we have the data, and that's working. So maybe that's what we need to do for this. Put the style first, and then the data attribute. Style, that's not helping. Data attribute. Okay. I got a fun little bug to report. That is weird. Okay. That is so weird. I'm going to leave it so I remember that it's broken. I could probably fix this with just nesting H2 color white. That is an H2, right? Yeah. So I could fix it that way. But that's a workaround, and I want to make sure that I remember this weird bug so I can report it later. So I'm going to leave it broken. All right. So weird. What are we doing? Let's download this crappy image. I don't like this at all. Okay. Inline width. Object fit contain, bro. Is that not a thing? Huh. I thought it was a thing. Does it have to? It doesn't have to have a width for that to be a thing, does it? Maybe it does. Okay. Yeah, it is doing something. Without contain, it would be stretching. Yeah. Okay. And giving the figure that height, the reason I did that is so that these cards would align, basically. So they'd be the same height. This text would be the same height as this text, roughly. This text has 3 lines. This one has 2, but I wanted these cards to line up more instead of this weirdness they got going on. This doesn't look good. Now I'm going to experiment with turning these into cards. See what that looks like. Don't you love how easy it is to make something a card? You literally just go here, paste in the class, and now it's a card. And what I'm going to do is see, here's the card. Card background. I'm wondering if it would look good with like a transparent kind of background. I wish this was a live stream so I could be like, what do you guys think? And then you could tell me because I'm bad at design. And then I could just do whatever you guys tell me to do. What does it normally do on hover? I don't think it doesn't normally do anything on hover. It does have a hover. It's in there somewhere. I've seen it. Yeah, card background hover, which right now is just the same color. I would have to go in and change that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? A little bit of a transparent background there to make them cards. Maybe we reduce the padding a little bit. And then wait, what? A little max width on there. The problem is, okay, because this is flex. So if I want the cards to be more narrow, I just have to increase the gap. Right? Yeah. I can increase the gap. That's funny. It's doing it on let's just do it on this class. Yeah. There we go. So I could do that. Do something like that. Am I overthinking this? Should I just not even make them cards? Thinking maybe I just don't even make them cards. I don't know. Theirs aren't cards. I've already improved it. Like, it's definitely better. If only that was working. I just feel like if they were, I don't know, if they were cards, Need to give this a little flex wrap. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like this. It's, like I said, I'm not trying to redesign their whole site. I'm just trying to make it better, and I think I've done that. Okay. Why is it wrapping? I have to give the card a max width? Everything's just going full frickin' width. Ah, that's because that's one of the etch defaults. Flex divs get inline size of 100%. If I took that off, it shouldn't be wrapping yet. It's only supposed to wrap like if it has to, right? Isn't that how Flex is supposed to work? It wraps if it has to. Is this something I don't understand about how their Flex divs work? Let's make them not Flex divs and just make them regular divs that are Flex. Does that make any sense to anybody? No? Cool. Let's not even make them Flex divs yet. Let's just keep them regular divs and just see. Oh yeah, I also want to do yeah, there's something I'm not understanding. Or it's also possible that it's another weird bug. But I'm pretty sure that these shouldn't be wrapping unless they actually have to. So that's kind of weird. I'm going to take this off of that text class and put it on the card. Huh. Oh, width, 400 pixels. So if I specify the width, okay, then I think I've been using grid so much that I just don't even remember how Flex works anymore. Did anybody else learn Flex by using Flexbox Froggy? That was me, for sure. Max inline size. Do that. And save. Okay. Okay. 600. Okay, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I just want to give text bold. A little bit of breathing room. All right. Also, I need to make my background. Did I not do that for this one? Huh. Seems fine, but background size, is that where I say cover? It's cover, right? Okay, I fixed that. Cool. Cool. What is next? I don't think I'm going to make it to the section that I so badly want to do. I'm going to do this now. I can skip things. Is this okay? It's the same image that we used up here, right there. Okay, I'm going to build this section because I just want to so bad. It's driving me bonkers. Just knowing that this is here and not fixed yet. All right, heading text CTA. What is this section called? You're juggling a million things. You don't have the time or money to invest in marketing tools or different software. Okay. CRM. This is all about CRM. Cyber CRM. We got ourselves a grid, folks. Flex div and flex div and 2 images in that flex div, a heading, 2 texts, and a call to action. Content, images. Is figure an option here? I don't know why figure is not an option, but I think I can just type it right there. Yeah. No, not wrap in a loop. Dum. Wrap in a div. Figure. Bro. Thank you. Nope. There we go. CTA. Heading text content. Fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Do I need to do anything differently to these images? I don't think so. I'm just going to drop them in. All right. I'm going to do auto grid, I think. It's doing that thing again where it's just not going to work in the builder for some reason. This is technically our heading, but it's so long, I don't think I can, in good conscience, make it that big. So let's add the class of H3 to it. It's still an H2, but it's going to look like an H3. Magic. We might need to mess with our text size too because of that. Consistency. The green button, right? Yeah. All right, and over here we have the non-blurry version of this picture. Look at that. AI did that. Is that not crazy? I just gave it this blurry image and said, make it not blurry. And it said, done. Done. Let's reuse this guy. Is she on the top or bottom? She's on the top and this is on the bottom. Everything's center aligned. So we'll go here. Look at this bug. There's clearly a class here, but I can't. It's acting like there isn't a class there. Beta. It's in beta. What was I doing? I want. It's still not. Oh, now the class isn't there anymore. It's gone. Okay, then. What are we doing? Cyber CRM. It is weird. Weird. Align items center just to make sure. I might need to give her like a max width. She looks big now, but that's because it's column. But it's centered. See what it looks like. Yeah. See if we're going to get this dumb bug again. Nope, that worked. That's good. It centered it nicely. All right, did she do anything weird on mobile? Is she going to get like way too big? It's a little big. Maybe we just wait. Well, first of all, let's drop the aggressiveness down. 0.6 instead of 0.7. So then it won't go to one column as soon. And that means, is she centered? Yeah, she's centered. It's just the image itself isn't perfectly centered. They put this book way over close to the edge, but her hand isn't as close to the edge over there. Just another thing to keep me up at night tonight. I'm not going to be able to sleep. But I think it's fine. I don't think I want to worry about trying to make her smaller at this screen size. Luckily, it's a nice high resolution photo thanks to AI. You know those movies where they're like, enhance, and you're always like, you can't really do that. Well, maybe now you can. Now all those movies are just going to say enhance, and then you're going to see on the screen, it'll be like AI enhancing, and then you'll believe it. It'll be all totally believable. Okay. I mean, are we done with this section then? Is that it? What does theirs look like on mobile? Do I even want to know? Ugh. So they put her on top. They didn't center her. She's all squished. She's all small. At least it's not fuzzy at that size. Ugh. Yeah. I think what we did is better. If you guys agree, let me know in the comments. All right. How long is this video? It's an hour and 50. It's almost 2 hours long. Do we get more work done? The first time we got 1 section, 2, 3, 4 sections. Today we did 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm like a 4 section a day kind of guy. I want to go report this weird bug. That's so weird. So weird. I suppose what I should do before I forget is I should make some of these other headings a component, right? Like this one. So if I get rid of heading text CTA and I say heading, then where am I at? I'm in this section. We want white, which apparently is only going to work for the heading, or no, for the text. There we go. Look at that. Wait, it's working? Why is it working? Why? What's different? This one doesn't have... Did I screw that up somehow? Is it about this? What if I get rid of that CTA? Nope, still not broken. Look at that. Oh, whoa. It is broken. It's just something else is making the text white in here. I probably... What did I do? Did I put it? Huh. Well, what is making this white? If this style isn't making it white, where's that coming from? Color white. .ai-4-business. Yeah, this section. I thought I looked at that. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's why that text is white. If I get rid of that, it should break. Yeah, because that component's broken for some reason. So otherwise, everything else about the component is working. Let's get our call to action back in there, eh? Where else can we use this component? Right here? Oh, already are. Right here? Yes, we could use it here. Get rid of the heading, get rid of the text. Add that. And where is our text? Here we go. No call to action. It's all left aligned, so that's good. Save. Boom. And are we already using a heading here? Yes, we are. Okay. So now all of our headings are components. Oh. Yep, I think that's it for today. I'm going to go report this bug. I've already reported the fact that some of these grids aren't working in the builder. Looks like, yeah, like this one is stacking. It shouldn't be stacking. It's working on the front end, but in the back end, it's stacking for some reason. I've already reported that, and I haven't heard back about it yet. So, we'll see. But I'll report the other bug too, and hopefully by the time episode 3 comes out, I will have heard something about these little bugs. But yeah, that's it for this video. Got another 4 sections done. Fix this poor girl. Feels so bad. She's so blurry. Just living her life. Blurry as all get out. Yeah, I think we made a lot of improvements, to be honest, over this. This, I don't know what I'm going to do about this because this is a plugin. I might ignore this, or I'll probably build this, but I'll make it simple. Like, I'm not going to do these fancy speech bubbles. I'll probably just make 3 basic box cards with some text in them. Because if I was building this for real, I would use whatever plugin they're using, probably, maybe. Try to figure out why these images are broken. Is this like an iframe or... No, it's not an iframe. Huh. Wonder why... Because this one's working. But these are not. I wonder if it's because they don't... Whoever left these reviews, they don't have a profile picture. So you would think whoever built this plugin, if that was true, you would think that whoever built this plugin would have a better solution for there not being a profile picture. You would think that. Why does this link to their own website? Why would you have a Google icon? You would think this would link to Google, but it links to their own website. Yeah, I would redesign this whole section. I would not use whatever plugin they're using. It's called WP Google Places Review Slider. I would not use that. I don't like anything about this. I don't like this Google logo almost touching the edges. I don't like the fact that it links to their own website. I don't like that these images don't work. Do I want to know what it looks like on mobile? It looks fine on mobile. Weird. Yeah, I would just use a custom post type and I would just redesign that whole section. That's for future James to worry about. That is probably episode 3. Yeah, because we did this. So we got to do this section and then client testimonials will be next. Already did this. So then we'll do this. There's still so many sections. There's probably 2 more episodes just to do this homepage. This might be a good amount of content. I was kind of worried that I was going to run out of content. I was going to get burned out and not be able to think of anything. Analytics tells me you guys like build videos, so we'll milk this cow for as long as I can until you guys stop watching, and then I'll try to find something else to do. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. 2 hours. It's not bad. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.